What's up everyone, it's your boy Ailurus, and we're back at it again on r/AmITheA, and I have 5 crazy stories to share with you today, so let's just jump into it. Our first story comes from user LuckyGrass7069. I am 32 male, and my wife is 33 female. We've been married for 8 years, and we have a 12-year-old son together. About 6 years ago, my wife decided to go vegan. She was sent the documentary Dominion by a vegan friend of hers, and ever since, she said non-vegan food is revolting and refuses to eat it. After a long conversation, I agreed to go vegetarian and be vegan in the house and around her, which she was happy with. She also decided our son should be vegan, which after seeing a dietitian, I also agreed with. Things have been fine with this arrangement until a few months ago when I began finding wrappers from non-vegan candy and even burgers from McDonald's in my son's school bag, which he had been buying with his chore money. I had a conversation with my son, and he confessed he felt lonely and excluded eating vegan around his friends, and that they always had lunch with better candy than he did, and it wasn't fair. I decided I didn't want him spending his pocket money on snacks and throwing out the vegan snacks we actually bought him instead of buying games, etc. It made no sense. But I also know the way my wife feels about non-vegan products, so I began buying my son what he wanted on our way to football practice instead. Long story short, my wife recently found out what's been going on and completely flipped out. She called me an animal abuse enabler and a few other names and said I was corrupting our son. Now she's not speaking to me. Our son panicked and told her I had bought the snacks for him and he didn't know that they weren't vegan. I don't blame him for that. He just didn't want to be in trouble with his mom. Oh my God, no way. Your husband cares about your son and wants him to fit in at school and also wants him to have nice things to eat. You would think love would trump politics and subjective morality, but apparently not. It really looks like this woman is ready to throw her whole family into the garbage can because her son wants to eat a candy bar and fit in with his friends. And let's be honest here, nobody other than you wanted to be vegan or vegetarian. Everyone just decided to eat the same way you did to make sure that you didn't feel excluded. I understand your husband's behavior. I understand why he would change his diet for you because he doesn't want to impede upon your moral journey, which was spurred by a documentary. But I don't understand why you would push it onto your son, a kid who just wants to fit in with other kids and wants to eat tasty things. And those things just so happen to not be kale chips. So yeah, this mom needs to chill out. She needs to take the biggest chill pill. She needs to calm down. It's not that deep. A child wanting to eat a McDonald's hamburger is not the end of the world, and certainly not him enabling animal abuse. Your husband centering your child's feelings first isn't him enabling animal abuse. It really isn't that deep. Our second story comes from user Midnight Storm. I, 26 female, have 3 older siblings. This is about my older sister Abby, 37 female. Abby has a son, 5, and I have a daughter, 1. Abby dealt with years of fertility issues and probably had 10 plus miscarriages. Then she had her son, and of course, he was Abby's miracle rainbow baby. We're so happy for her. But it leads to Abby spoiling her son and letting him get away with everything because he's a miracle and he's special. Everyone has bit their tongue when it comes to her son because of that. What a fantastic family dynamic. This only means great things. I'm certain that the rest of this story is going to be incredibly wholesome. It's going to be the best tear-jerking story on the planet. It will rival every Pixar film you've ever seen. On Saturday, I had my daughter's first birthday party. It was mostly family and a few close friends who were invited. I invited Abby and her son because everyone else in their family was invited, so I felt bad excluding her. We had different activities for the kids to do. Abby's son didn't like any of them. He was upset that none of the presents were for him. He didn't eat any of the food that we had, and then he tried to push the cake off the table because apparently he was mad the cake wasn't his. I got super upset at Abby for allowing her son to act this way. She went on to say that her son is special. I said her son was only special to her, which is understandable, but to everyone else, he's a spoiled brat, which shouldn't be overlooked because he was your special miracle baby. Abby called me a bitch and left crying. A few family members have since called me because I never dealt with a miscarriage, so I don't understand how painful it was for Abby to deal with years of that before her son. It's not that I don't realize her son is special to her, but it doesn't give the excuse for Abby to allow him to act like a spoiled brat. Oh my gosh, she left crying? She can keep crying, bro. Go somewhere else with your child. Please leave the party, because your kid is a menace. And the fact that a few of your family members didn't have your back really goes to show that maybe they shouldn't be invited to any other gatherings either. This was not just any birthday party. This was her daughter's first birthday party. I would argue that this event was as special as your miracle baby, Abby. So maybe you should control your special kid to make sure he doesn't ruin her special moment. But no, your child's not spoiled. He's not acting like a brat. That's not true. That's not happening. He wasn't going to just shove a cake off of a table. That's crazy. No one saw that. That was all in everybody's imagination. In my opinion, if I was in this situation, I would go out of my way to exclude Abby's kid from all other birthday parties, at least until he can gather himself and learn how to behave with other people. This kid needs to do a little bit of growing up, and hopefully Abby can help this kid along by not spoiling him. Our third story comes from a throwaway account. My wife wants to be an influencer on TikTok and YouTube. She's been creating mommy content and content about her day-to-day life. When she told me this is something she wanted to do, I didn't have a problem with it. I only said I didn't want our children, a male 4 years old and female 2 years old, in any of her content. I didn't monitor her channel because it really didn't seem necessary. I recently watched her channel because I thought it would be cute to see what she does in her day-to-day life, and I found our children's faces in almost all of her content. I told her straight up she needs to remove all of her content. She said she knew I wouldn't agree, but she doesn't think it's a big deal. I don't like children content. I feel like a lot of the time when you see that children make profit, they become less your kids and more of a product, and your interactions become more performative. And I can see the same thing happening in her because she posts a video of getting our 2-year-old out of a tantrum and how she deals with it. But how is your first instinct to record and hold a camera whilst our baby is crying? She started crying, saying she built this up and this is her dream and deleting her content would ruin it. And I said, I simply don't give a and if you don't delete it, I would consider a divorce. I know a lot of people have children on their social media, and I don't mind an Instagram or Facebook post, but to make videos seems too intimate to share. She told her friends and even hinted on her social media accounts that she has an over-controlling and narcissistic husband that doesn't want her on social media. I am currently being ridiculed by her friends. Am I being over-controlling or narcissistic? Quick edit. Someone asked what type of content. The content isn't really harmful, just her feeding them and playing with them, but 2 types of videos I have problems with is her recording our children's tantrums and our 2-year-old still doesn't like clothes. We are trying to get her to wear more, but our house can be very hot, so she's in a diaper a lot. And I don't like those videos of our daughters in her diapers. This man is being incredibly reasonable, and I have a feeling that most likely this family might come apart because of this woman's actions. It is not narcissistic to not want your children to appear naked online. And it really seems like this mother isn't listening to what he has to say. He's not telling you that you can't create content about being a mom. He's telling you to not make content about the children that you two share, because that can turn into a very bad situation. Now, I'm sure your wife isn't abusing your kids for clicks, but if your wife's first action when she hears her children start crying is to pick up a camera for content online, that's concerning and worth talking about. You're not a crappy person for bringing this up, dude. You shouldn't internalize any statements being made about you online by her friends. Her friends are going to take her side because they're friendly with her. Personally, what I think you should do is go to couples therapy with her and have a candid discussion about her behavior. That seems way more constructive than threatening divorce, because in my opinion, you two separating will harm the children even more than her creating a YouTube channel. Our fourth story comes from user Deki. So a bit of background. I own a plumbing company. I hired my brother 3 years ago. He was jobless after the pandemic, and I offered him to come work with me. He was 22 at the time, and now was looking to become a master plumber and start his own business. At my wedding, in which he was the best man, he decided that during his speech, he would give us all a big surprise, and decided to propose to his longtime girlfriend. Me and my wife were appalled. We both feel like he stole the shine from our day. Everyone else in our families were so excited and kept taking pictures with her, looking at the ring, etc. I decided to fire him the very next day. He still doesn't understand why. He claims I'm being selfish and irrational, and our parents agree. They're saying that business should be separate from our personal lives, but I just can't overlook what he did and how he ruined our day. Am I overthinking this? First edit. I should have mentioned this. He will be getting severance. He is still my brother, and I wouldn't let him lose his home over this, you know? But as a small business, I can't imagine seeing him every day at work. Not now, at least. Edit 2. I reached out to him and we plan on speaking later today in person. Edit 3. I love all of the people who say you've been looking for a reason to fire him or you're just jealous. He was my best man. I never felt upset about him opening his own business. In fact, he was my complete blessing. This job was supposed to get him on his feet again. I'm so happy he liked the field and wants to go further in it. There was no malice before this incident. Yeah, now homie had to go. He had to go. That is some grimy behavior. And to think that the dude who you picked to be your best man did that at your wedding, bro. That is ridiculous. He did the #1 thing you're not supposed to do at a wedding. I'm surprised that you didn't swing on him, because I would. How dare you steal the thunder from this very expensive and very special event. I really hope your brother enjoyed the spotlight. I hope he enjoyed the attention, because now he's unemployed. That one moment cost him everything. I hope he can make payments on that wedding ring. Our final story comes from user George McMinty. I, 24, got pregnant while I was taking a gap year traveling. I met an older guy, nothing gross. I was 19, he was 23, we had fun, I was working in a bar to make money while I explored the city. When I got pregnant, he lost interest really quickly. I understood, but I am pro-choice, and I chose not to terminate. I went home and had my son. I also made sure to get child support. He could afford it, but he did fight it. So I had to prove paternity and everything. His parents did find out. They're well off. They have met my son and they truly do seem to love him. They have provided gifts for his birthday and Christmas. They helped me with extra money so I could complete my university without going into debt. They have taken us on vacation with them so they could spend time with them. They aren't my biggest fans, but we are cordial with each other. 3 months ago, my son's father passed away. He got drunk at his bachelor party, tripped on the sidewalk, and hit his head. And that's all she wrote. My son and I attended the funeral. We spent a week in the city so his grandparents could see him. They approached me with an offer. They had no other children or grandchildren. Their son was only 28, so he had lots of time to provide them legitimate kids. They did not say this, but I'm just assuming, so they never thought about my son's name. They said if I changed his surname to theirs legally, they would make them their primary heir. I think this is dumb. He's their only grandchild, and they would only deny him an inheritance because of his last name? I said I would consider it, to be polite, and then left it at that. I actually have a pretty good life as it is. My family has been very supportive, and because of the whole court thing, my son's father had to have life insurance with him as the beneficiary. Would it be nice for my kid to get a big sum of money? Yes. Do I want him to have the surname of a man who didn't want him, see him, or love him? No. I have been talking to my family about it, and a few of them think I'm being an for giving up this kind of money for my son. It's generational wealth, and I'm making the decision based on emotion. I think they're assholes for thinking money is the only thing that matters. I think I will tell my son's grandparents that they can talk to him about it when he's 16. He'll be old enough to understand the implications, but young enough not to be tied professionally to his last name. This is incredibly petty. I understand how you feel about this dude who knocked you up and didn't want anything to do with you. I understand that. I understand how you wouldn't want a kid to have a surname of a father that didn't love him. I get that. But this is money. Not just any money, generational money. Most people on this planet will never have an opportunity like this, and you're depriving your son of an opportunity to build his life with an incredible sum of money. Now, yes, idealistically, emotions should trump money. Money is not everything, yada yada yada. Well, it is, alright? Bills need to be paid. Expensive, and it really blows my mind why you wouldn't set your kid up for success, man. As of right now, his current last name is paying 0 dividends. And last time I checked, you can't exchange morals and feelings for cold hard cash. But I will acknowledge that your solution is okay. Giving him the ultimate decision to change his last name later in life is a good idea. Personally, I would also allow him to build a relationship with his grandparents. His father might not have wanted him, but it seems like his grandparents want to know and be in his life. But your reasoning to not change his last name is goofy, all right? Let him make the decision, let him have a connection with his grandparents, and please let him collect that check. But hey, you guys might disagree. Tell me what you guys think about every single story that you've heard today in the comments down below. And also take a look at the pinned comment because I uploaded a 38-minute long morbid reality video that is awesome, spooky, and crazy. So yeah, have that crazy conversation in the comments down below. I love your guys' opinions on all of these stories that I tell you, and I'll catch you guys at the end. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ailurus, aka Panda Daddy, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you did, let me know in the comments down below, and leave a like if you liked the video. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, fam. What you doing watching videos and not subscribing? And if you're old, make sure you hit that bell so you can get these notifications every time. For those of you who have been wondering why I've been gone for 3 weeks, it's because I've been working on a new morbid reality video that was uploaded earlier this week. So go ahead and take a look. The video is linked in the description and in the pinned comment, and I really hope you guys enjoy that one because it's extra long and extra creepy. And as always, we gotta thank the Patreon supporters that make content like this possible. A big thank you to AFK Junkie, Zenith2A, Mr. Sandman, Mike, Sleepy Dragon, Power Lover, Sherry Morrison, Tron Destroy 23, Fitch Chivalry, Code Connor Purvis, S16, Squish, Rare Days, Mr. Bean, My Golden Experience, James Tucker, BMX30, Cinnamon Sticks, Scott, The Fake Musician, Buckethead, Samantha Bellhart, Admin Fanaker, Bloody Hunter, Keely, Dundernats Hawk, Swiss Patreon user, and Noah. Thank you so much for your support. It is greatly appreciated. And if you want to help support the channel, there's 2 links in the description, one on my merch store and one on my Patreon. Both funds go directly into the channel so we can maintain what's happening here. And as always, stay zesty.